How do I put it? I think that whatever those special feelings are of nostalgia that one had for the first film, sure, some of those sensibilities will be, you know, offended in the second film, but they have to be. You know, hopefully there'll be more Tron films, and then, you know, your kids can say to you, you know, you guys should have kept this from the past. That's just human nature. This evolution is, as long as it's done with the right spirit and the right attitude, I think it's going to be a positive thing.
How long was the idea of a remake in your mind, more than actually doing a follow-up?
It's changed over the years. Obviously, this is its own standalone film, but you know, it went through 6 administrations at Disney over the years, and I interacted with all of them to a certain degree. And sometimes they seemed to be really interested in pursuing this, and sometimes they didn't. At one point, I went into the studio and I got notes back from an intern. Okay, and frankly, I didn't get this movie made. It was Sean Bailey and Joe Kosinski, through their efforts, that got this film greenlit. And after those 25 years, I really felt like I had run the ultimate marathon. And it wasn't in the cards for me at that point to say, yeah, after 25 years, let's make another Tron, so much as it was, you know, here's what I feel and know about Tron. You know, God bless, good luck, and, you know, Godspeed. And I'm there to help you any way I can. You know, I sort of think that if my old group and I had made the next Tron, it would have been a little bit like that Clint Eastwood movie where he and Tommy Lee Jones and James Garner go back into space.
You mentioned earlier about, I asked you about the original Tron being on Wizard of Oz and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the Tron Legacy has kind of recaptured that kind of visual spirit?
It's, I think that the part that I, in some ways, like the most is I think there's something spiritual and mythic about a relationship when one part of the relationship looks up at the other one and thinks they're greater than they really are. Like the programs did, the users, and like what son does or daughter does with a parent. And it forces that person to try to live up to that expectation. And there's something magical about that for me. And this film has captured that in 2 relationships. Clue, Flynn's cyber son, is basically saying, I've done everything I could for you, and yet you love that real world kid more than me. You don't even really know him, you know. And so Clue did look up to Flynn, and now is really chagrined that Flynn is putting his allegiance in a completely other direction than technology. And at the same time, the son has had to live with the fact that his father is the ultimate user, user one, the creator, the man who is a legend, but he doesn't even know him. And so what happens is, in order for their relationship to work, he has to get to know his father as a man, not as a legend, because you can't personally love a legend, you know. And Flynn has to learn what kind of man his son is. So it's those dynamics that make me think about that original relationship when Tron was trying to communicate with his user Alan, and when the programs had the creator Flynn amongst them and thought, well, everything's fine now because he can do anything. And he would say to them, you know, I hate to break it to you, but the users aren't as great as you think we are. That you know, that does get back to the Wizard of Oz sensibility, and that's some of my favorite stuff.